Has God closed the doors to our churches for a reason? In the Old Testament, God gave David the blueprint for the temple that his son Solomon would later build. And he's also given us a blueprint for today's church, his unstoppable force in the world. But are we following it? In his love and grace to us, is this our chance to reimagine the church? And is it time for us to admit that we may have missed the mark and get back to that original blueprint? What might our new normal look like? During lockdown, many of us have rediscovered what matters, what's really important. And we've realised that what seemed impossible is actually possible. We've reimagined school, reimagined family time, and even the way we shop. Why not reimagine the church? What if we focused on what we had in common with others rather than our differences? What if we came together not to meet our own needs but to meet the needs of our community? What if we championed the overlooked and ignored? What if we measured our success by the chains we loosened, the burdens we lifted instead of Sunday attendance? By what we'd given and shared with others instead of what we own? What if we grasped the power of small acts of love and kindness to our family, friends, neighbours and work colleagues? What if we cared for the sick and visited those who are locked in, for whatever reason? After all, we now know something of what that might feel like. What if instead of doing our own thing, we did his thing? What if we focused on building communities instead of just buildings? What if we gave ourselves to spending time together instead of just spending? What if we were as keen to share the good news as we are to share the bad news? What if instead of asking the community to come into the church went into the community? What if we focused on putting love at the heart of our communities? If we used our gifts to serve one another and our strength to carry one another's burdens? What if we poured ourselves out for each other and gave ourselves to our communities? What if we shared meals with one another and dared to be real? Laugh and cry with one another? What if we focused on lightening burdens, repairing broken dreams and restoring relationships? If we turned up the heat from lukewarm to red hot, what would our churches look like? What would our communities be like? What could our lives be like? How do you think the church should change after lockdown? What new thing do you sense God wanting to do amongst us? I'd love you to comment below with your thoughts. And together, let's explore what a future church could look like. After all, we are the church.